Okay, here I'm making another, I don't know, education video. This is Scott with SalonShearsDirect.com. Here are some of three of my very loyal Shear Fanatic scissor users. And I wanted to, this is very impromptu and unedited, if any of you have done these. So I'm at a Supercuts in Methuen, and I have Nysa, I have Serena, and I have Molly. Did I get all that right? Okay. And there's a lot of difference in what these girls are using for scissors, and I just want to have you talk about it a little bit for 1 second. But what kind of haircuts do you like to do most? Like, what are you into? What's your favorite type of haircut?
Curly hair.
Curly hair? Yeah. Why? Because you have curly hair?
Yeah.
Okay. Serena, how about you?
I like to do pixie cuts. I like to go up and over the ears and clean up the neck and stuff.
Cool. And you just did a really quick, I let you use a little bit longer shear. So I remember meeting Serena a couple of years ago where she was right out of school, and now she's looking at a longer scissor. So it's kind of cool to see how everybody's kind of skills change and develop. Molly is relatively new.
Yeah.
Asked for me to come down and has a swivel scissor. So how about you? Have you developed something that you think you like to do as far as cuts go?
I like the pixies too.
Yeah.
And I like the curly hair too. I like all of it. I'm still learning it. I like all of it.
All right, so we'll go backwards now. So you had a standard set of scissors from school. Now you're using a double swivel right hand.
Yeah.
Like, why did you pick something like that? You know, and I'm not looking for 5-star reviews or Scott's great. I'm looking for good, real stuff to help other people that are buying scissors or learning how to do cuts. Like, you know, why a double? Why a swivel? You know, in a minute you'll see Nysa doesn't use a swivel. Why don't you use one? That kind of thing. So why do you think that was the best fit for you?
First, I picked the double because when I was learning, I was having trouble like moving this or gripping this a lot.
Yep.
And you told me, like, I was told you're not supposed to. You're just really supposed to focus on moving your thumb. So I feel like that's extra security, especially when you're just learning. And then with the swivel, it just makes it so that when we are doing like the pixie cuts or like we do a lot of men's, you know, and you really got to get in there,
Right.
then you can have all that flexibility so you're not like killing your wrist, especially going over the head. You can just like kind of do that. So you're not hurting your wrist. So that was my main thing. with
Cool.
it. And I like that it lets me do more things. I don't know.
It seems
a lot
like-
more options.
And you picked the single swivel for the texturizers,
I did, yeah.
right? Okay, so
Yeah.
that's an option there, right?
Yeah.
And those are 5.5s, and the texturizers are 6s, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and those were like $250 for a set.
Yeah.
So, kind of the message too is a lot of people think that you have to spend like lots of money on scissors. My brand's pretty popular because it's good, but they're affordable, right? Okay, so you have like those are one of the very first ones that you ever purchased, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
These ones, and along with
You're right.
These
Yep.
were like the very first pair I started using when I started.
And those are 5 and 5.5s, right?
Yes. And then after that, I got this one, and I actually got a swivel one as well when I started getting comfortable with cutting hair.
So here's a stylist that's using a swivel and a non-swivel shear. So where would you use a swivel versus a non-swivel?
That's a good question.
I asked her this earlier. The question was, I think you said whatever mood I'm in, right?
Yeah,
Is that what you
whatever I
said?
feel like
That's okay,
at the moment,
right?
yeah.
So you like them both,
Yes.
right? Is one more comfortable or less comfortable, or it's just a matter of,
Just like more comfortability, and like what Molly said about how you could be more flexible and you're not tearing your wrist apart.
Good. Cool. And starting to venture out into potentially a longer scissor for scissor over comb kind of stuff, more straighter cut, that type of thing. Okay, cool. And here we have the boss. She runs the joint. And I think this is a good conversation because, you know, I came to help Molly out, pick some shears out, and then Serena said, I want to look, and then Nysa said, okay, I want to look at texturizers. And she's a lefty, and she also is a Shear Fanatic user, uses a left-hand Pro Series 6-inch, right? Your black ones?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. And when you were working with a color client, when we were kind of chatting back and forth, and I showed you 3 or 4 different texturizers, and you said you didn't want to look at the double texturizers.
No.
Is that what you said at first?
I didn't want to know.
You didn't want to.
No.
And I left him out and said, why don't you just try them all? And so help a stylist or someone, she bought a pair, okay? All right. I think because you thought they were the best fit for you and they did the best job for you, right?
It was, and I feel like with texturizers, and the way you learn with texturizers is short supports long, so they will create like more volume, whereas these will help take out the bulk without creating all the volume with short supports long. And they didn't leave a line in the hair from going in and using them, whereas the normal, the single ones, they leave a line in the hair. And I was using Molly the mannequin over there, and just trying them out and seeing how they worked on her hair.
So was the resistance just because you never tried them before, or originally when you said, no, I don't want
I
to?
don't like texturizers. I didn't really like the look that texturizers gave, and not like, or like a men's haircut, you would use texturizers to blend and it would give that poof.
Right.
When it grew out, I didn't like that. Whereas
Okay.
these, I feel like I'm not gonna get that. Or
So-
at least that's what I saw in the mannequin.
So you texturize with a feather razor,
Yeah.
typically?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, something new for you, right?
Something new. We all learn something new.
So what I use, and when I asked these girls if they would do this training video, I kind of forced them into it, and they did it for me. I work a lot at doing education at schools, and this is the type of stuff that the students love to see. I'm just not the scissor guy. I'll play these for them at the school to say, hey, look, here's different techniques, different stylists. One of them likes to do this, one of them likes to do that, and it's extremely good education for them to understand different things going on. So, and I kind of like it here because they all use my scissors, so that's fun for me too. So, thank you all. Was this as bad as you thought it was going to be? No? Okay. Thank you all for being customers of mine. I appreciate it. Okay? Thanks.